Last week, we talked all about like, ooh, these energies are high and like integrating them. And as these things come in, of not only accepting them, but being like, yeah, great. I was waiting for this opportunity. I was waiting for this thing to show up. And that's not where we want to operate. That's not grounded, right? And so I wanted just to offer you some tips, tricks, and feelings as you're going through the next 2, 3, 6, 18 months. And really, and you're not going to like any of these because you have to do the work and it has to be consistent, because this new way of being, this new way of living, this new way of setting boundaries, of moving through the world, of showing up, of expressing ourselves is still new. It maybe has been the thing that we should have been doing the whole time. Okay. But it doesn't take away from the fact that we hadn't been doing it. So it's still new and it's still a practice. And it's really going to be the practice of staying grounded. And ultimately, what that means for the majority of us is slowing down. Now, when we talk about slowing down, everybody thinks about like naps or like I'm only sending one email a day. No, 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 no. This is why you're doing this practice. So the grounding exercises, the pausing, this going slow, quote unquote, is about integration, because things are only going to get faster and faster because what you want is here and it's going to meet you. And then it's like, whoop, right? This is your connecting flight. So you can't go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back through the Chick-fil-A line. They're like, no, bitch, it's gate 3A, it's taken off. So that's really what this is these are the practices to get us in a place of integration so that the speed of which we're being asked to move, the speed of the collective of how quickly things are going, we're not getting lost in it. Because for us, it's not actually about going faster, because the world's going to keep spinning. You know what I mean? But it's about us being able to live in that place of excellence because of these grounding techniques. So I know it sounds like I'm like, smile, but be natural. But so let's talk about it. I've shared this practice before, sharing it again because I have not done it every day. But I think it's one of the most important. 2 to 3 minutes a day. It doesn't matter when. You could intuitively feel it, or whether it's the break or your breaking point, 2 to 3 minutes a day, closing your eyes, blowing all that air out, coming back to a seated position that's comfortable and that feels natural. And almost if you're a chanter, if that's something that works for you, you could almost hold it in a hum. That's hard for me, and then I get lightheaded. So it's not for me, but you do you. But I want you to see if you can focus on the feeling that you're wanting to feel. Here is why this is important. When you get the thing, quote unquote, and you suddenly don't feel happier, more worthy, better, or like you thought you were going to feel, this practice is why. Because you have attached a feeling, a sense of self-acceptance of now I'm worthy, to an event that hasn't happened yet. And that event is just a series of circumstances. It doesn't actually affect the way you feel about you. That's your job, okay? You could put a pig in any clothing that you'd like. Put a pig in a business suit. I'm still not giving him my money to invest in his company, okay? So that's the same thing of like your outside circumstances aren't going to change your internal frequency. They're not going to change the way that you feel about yourself. And they're certainly not going to change the way you show up to things, right? It's that fake it till you make it, which is great. But that fake it till you make it is empowering if you're integrating what you're learning as you go along. So eventually you walk into the room and you're 10 toes down and you know that you deserve to be there. So that's what these practices are for. So with the 2 to 3 minutes, what I want you to do is find if you can find that feeling. Now, this is where everybody's different, and I don't need to reach out to every single person in the group, but maybe it's a color. Maybe it's seeing yourself in a certain outfit or a certain environment and imagining that and holding that feeling. Maybe it's a frequency. Maybe it's a tone. Maybe it's listening to a certain amount of music. There's no wrong or right way to do this. For me, I always think about when I wish that I still drank, which is very rare and few between. But on days that if I go out with people, I'm like, man, it would be so nice to turn my brain off. What is the feeling that I'm actually wanting? Because it doesn't actually have anything to do with the glass of wine, because I know I'm going to drink it, and then even if I felt like loose, but then I'd have a headache and then my teeth would be red, like it's not actually going to do what I want it to do. So what is the feeling that I want it to elicit? If I'm at a kid's birthday and it's like, oh, I really want a second cupcake, and it's not about making food good or bad, but my body does not need the amount of sugar that's in 2 cupcakes. Okay. It's not about whether it would make me even skinnier or fatter. It has nothing to do with that. It's simply, that's not going to make me feel better. I know that. But there's something about the thought of it, the urge of it, that makes me think I will feel a certain way. So all of the triggers, or maybe for you, it's buying more things online, right? Whatever these things are that give us that temporary feeling of like, oh, that's the feeling you want. And we can actually replicate that feeling through many other actions. But again, it's practice. When we have that shift and that feeling that we can go back to, that's what we want. We want to be able to pull up that feeling and own it. We want that to become the default.